Now, Michael, you're the doing of news, but I said this off air, and we like to bring our community into it. Like, we're not sort of secretive about sort of stuff. I said, geez, you've been good the first 47 minutes. Can we get you back? And you just sort of shook your head.
Well, I'm back Friday.
Oh, you're back Friday?
I'm back Friday.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
All right. Well, tell us what's happening.
Well, a bit of NRL news. David Riccio, who's back with Vossi and Brownie, was on this morning, will be on tomorrow, has confirmed that Ronaldo Mulitalo will remain with the Sharks for the next 3 years. And that's a big re-signing because
massive.
He had some, I honestly think the Sharks, this is a good debate for us. I think they're the best wing pairing in the game.
Katoa and him?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're up there. Yeah, they're definitely up there. Brian actually reached, this is behind closed curtains as well. Brian Fletcher reached out to Ronaldo Mulitalo and said he wanted to manage him.
Really?
Yeah.
Any reason?
Dosh.
For Fletch?
Yeah. But, okay, so if he's re-signed for 3 years.
Well, he just changed agents too, Ronaldo.
Has he? Okay. A 3-year deal.
Yep.
Mate, he's a good player.
He's a good player.
He's only 25.
Yeah.
Jeez, he's achieved a lot, the 25-year-old. You know the market better than me.
Yep.
Ronaldo Mulitalo, if he went on the open market, we don't have a draft, but if he went on the open market, what's his number?
He would have been looking for a 6 to leave Cronulla, I'd say.
6?
To leave Cronulla.
Wow. I like it.
Yeah.
I think the winger is more important than the centre.
He's
I like that.
Yeah, he's the, and as you said,
I bet you he didn't sign for a 6.
No, you wouldn't have thought so. No, he would have been around 5 at Cronulla.
I bet you it's got a 4 in start.
You reckon 4?
I reckon.
I reckon it might have edged 5. Just.
Because
Because you look at the,
he deserves
like Brian
it.
Toll. Brian Toll is probably the best winger in the he'd be on him 620-ish.
Who's the biggest difference maker as a winger?
Last year was Zach Lomax. To be fair.
Well, you know what? You might be right. Difference maker. So yes, Toll, but they've got a pretty good system that you're rolling bowler on the back of that. Mate, Zach Lomax might have been the biggest difference maker as a winger last year. You might be right.
He's going to play centre for Parramatta. It'll be interesting to see where he's named, but I think he's doing most of his reps at centre, and will get first crack in that centre spot for Parramatta, which I think's like, it's crazy to think because of how good he was.
Why?
That's what he wants. That's what he wants to do.
We had him on our show, and we love Zach Lomax, but I said, Zach, when you get the jumper from Jason Riles, what number do you want? He said, number 4.
Yeah.
I'm like, mate, you've just broke every record. You've had the greatest season of your life.
Played for New South Wales, played for Australia. Would he have done that at centre? Probably not.
But the wing, there's a stigma around the wing. Which
does that
is
still
wrong.
exist?
It does.
But for
okay, you're a Dragon, right? And I've said this publicly, right? Tyrell Sloan, who I think's a gun.
Yeah.
I think he's a gun. He's a try scorer.
Yes.
He's a gun try scorer. But these days, you know how many metres he averaged on kick reception last year?
Tell me.
30.
Yeah.
The benchmark is Dylan Edwards, who averaged 100.
Yeah.
Right.
And the guy that's replaced him is pretty handy at it too, and Clint Gutherson.
Yeah, but nowhere near. Gutho was like about 50. So way off Dylan Edwards. What I'm proposing to Shane, Darryl, Flanagan, I don't know if that's his middle name, but I made it up. I would put Holmes. Holmes is a great carrier. He's won a competition with Flanagan before.
Yeah.
I would put him on the wing when we're coming out of the paddock, and when we get close to the M4, Sloan, go for your life. Thoughts?
What's the M4 analogy? What's
on the freeway?
As in, so you'd want Holmes return like at the back as your back 3.
Yeah.
And taking that, and that's the knock on Sloan, right? If he doesn't come up
30 metres per
game,
that's the knock on kick reception, right?
Yeah, that is the knock, right? And that's why he's
instinctively he's a gun, right? You agree with that?
Yes. Oh yeah. I think he can learn that part of his game.
Learn what?
Well, he's just got to get in. Well, he's just got to get in and do some tough carries, right? That's what he hasn't been able to do.
Val's a genius at it.
Bit of NRL news today. Christian Welch, he's played his final game for the Storm.
Has he now?
He won't play for the Storm again. Medical retirement. I think you'll find that might get
medical retirement.
Medical retirement.
What's he done?
Concussion. He's had a concussion in the off season.
Yep.
During pre-season camp. So it's a cruel blow for the way for him to come out of. At one stage before he did his ACL, he was on track. Like, he was outstanding, right? Late offload, great career, plenty of games for Queensland. But the last, he wasn't at his best last season for the Storm.
No, exactly. But there was a game for Queensland where, who was the half? Might have been Nathan Cleary. His sole objective was to go after them, and he had a blinder.
He would have played for Australia if it wasn't during the COVID period.
Yeah.
When they didn't have a lot of Test footy, I think he would have ended up playing for Australia, but 163 games.
That's a great career.
6 games for Queensland. Real steady hand for the Melbourne Storm, and a consistent player for a long period of time. And it makes that signing of Stefano Utukimanu even more important now for the Melbourne Storm.
Massive. Just before we go to the break, speaking of front rowers, inside shoulder, he loves scoring tries. Tommy Hazelton, could he be Red V part of me?
Yeah, it looks like it. Well, it looks like it's going to end up that way. The Dragons, Peter Bedell's got a story online today and across the News Corp masthead saying that, the Dragons have put in an offer. Buzz had it in his column on Sunday that he was leaning towards the Dragons. The Knights are keen, the Dolphins are keen, but the Dragons look like they're going to get their man, and he's really close to Daniel Atkinson. So it'll be 2 Cronulla Sharks signings for the Dragons, arch rivals in 2026.
Okay, and the New Zealand Herald is reporting that Michael Burgess is reporting this, that Mitch Barnett, I thought it might have been Chance, I thought it might have been Roger, but I thought definitely it must have been
Fisher Harris.
Fisher Harris.
I thought, yeah.
Mitch Barnett will captain the Warriors in 2025, Mick.
Yeah, what a story he's become. Didn't reach the heights at Newcastle, goes to the Warriors, and is such a important player for him, makes his representative debut last year, and now to captain. Yeah, I thought he would have been the Kiwi Test captain in James Fisher Harris.
Yeah.
But no, that's a good move from Andrew Webster. It's a bold move from Andrew Webster, not to burden James Fisher Harris with that, but Mitch Barnett, he'll probably play a lot more minutes than Fisher Harris as well. He's on the field a lot.
Yep.
Barnett, and yeah, he's moved into a top-tier player in the competition. Yeah, one's interesting, and Kieran Foran's going to be on with Matt Rogers and Stephen O'Keefe later tonight on Sports Day, but the fact that they're going to shift him. So we've spoken about this over summer. There was some suggestion that he was going to play number 14 to allow the Brimson-Campbell halves combination.
Really?
But Kieran Foran looks like he's going to play that 14 role,
wow.
And I like it. I like it because if the Titans are any hope of playing finals footy, Campbell, Brimson, Kinney need to start for him. I'm not sure it's going to work, the Campbell-Brimson combination, but if it does work, imagine the strike and the points that they've got and the attacking threats that they have on the field.
Okay, Brimson's a tricky one. I think Brimson's a bit of a Kurt Gidley, right? So, great player. Kurt Gidley played... Did he play for Australia, Kurt Gidley? He certainly played for New South Wales.
Played for Australia, definitely.
Definitely played for Australia. Brimson's a bit similar where, yeah, he's a great player. We know he's a great player. But what position is he a great player at? Like, if you said, okay, AJ Brimson...
If you signed him to a side...
Yep.
And you're starting your squad...
Yep.
He'd be fullback for mine.
Fullback?
Yep.
Okay, interesting.
What about you?
I don't know. I don't know. That's a conundrum. That is a massive conundrum for Desi. And... Mate, they've got a big year because people will see their forward pack. They go Fodawaker. They've got Tino who's coming back. You got Beau Fermor. You got Fafita, David Fafita, that is. Who else you got? Sam Verrills, who's a premiership winning hooker. Scored a try in the grand
Regan
final.
Campbell-Gillard.
Regan Campbell-Gillard.
Like, it's a good forward pack.
Great forward pack. Parramatta had a good forward pack last year. It's...
Their spark, the question marks will be over. Can he replicate what he did last year? And I think he can. I think he's an elite talent. Then you got Campbell and Brimson. See what they can produce for him because their attack has been pedestrian at times over the last couple of years. And those players have looked the most likely, but they haven't been able to use them all at the one time. So if you can find a way to do that, and that's what Des is trying to do here, finding a way to do that.
Yep.
So I think it's the right move and interesting for Kieran Foran at this stage of his career to go with it. Obviously, he's got that tight relationship with Des Hasler, but I think for the benefit of the squad, I think that's a good move for him.
Michael Carayannis is a voice you're hearing. Can I tell you something, Michael, that a really big, and I've shared this with Brian, a really big percentage of tries scored for your team is around 15%. That's a really big percentage. Khan Pereira, when he plays, has scored 30% of the Titans' tries.
Yeah.
So then you ask yourself, you go, okay, well, if he's done that, if he's not playing, he won the top try scorer and missed 3 games.
Yeah.
If he's not playing, where are the points coming from?
Yeah, I think it's going to come from those 3 players I mentioned, Campbell, Brimson and Kinney. And the question mark's going to be is, we know how good runners they are, but what can they create for their outside men? Who's going to feed David? Who's going to get David Fifita in a good spot to feed him the ball?
Okay, let me ask you about Campbell, who I love. Campbell, footballer, knows how to score. What position is Jaden Campbell?
1.
Yeah.
That's the issue they've got.
Yeah.
And I said this over summer as well, the fact that if I'm the Titans and it doesn't work out, I'm selling one of them, trading one of them. I'm trading them because they're a hot commodity.
Who?
Probably Brimson.
I would trade Brimson.
Probably.
I would trade him.
But if I'm a club, I'm signing him.
So which club would sign him? Which club needs AJ Brimson? Which is the club? Is it the Raiders?
The question marks around the Sharks. Does he improve the Sharks side?
Does he? Is he better than Kennedy? I don't know.
Sure.
I don't know about that.
Right.
Kennedy's a good player, mate. Yeah. He won the Player of the Year, not last year, but the year before. I think Brayley got it last year. Year before might have went the way of Kennedy.
Yeah, I'm just trying to break down and have a look at those sides.
Would the Tigers swap Buller for him? No, I don't think so. Would the Roosters swap Teddy? No. Would the
the Roosters maybe
Stormer Chockers?
Yeah.
Raiders maybe.
Dragons have Gutherson
Manly
now,
and
but
Turbo.
the Dragons look and go, okay, well, if we got an AJ Brimson into the mix, do we shift Gutherson?
Yeah.
Into another position?
Yeah, it's hard. It's absolutely hard. 1300 01 1170. Text 0457 736 736. Your job today, Michael, has to be manning the text line. What have you got?
Yeah, good gig. Fletch has been back for 1 week and has a day off already. Then Vegas in 3 weeks. How do you get a gig like that? That's from Wild Panther.
Yeah.
Not bad work if you can get it. One from 167. MC, do a job you love and you'll never work a day in your life. Scott from the Gold Coast.
Perfect.
From Steve from Dubbo. Here's another fun fact about Carayannis. By him tipping Moses for the Daily M the other week, I took him off the Parramatta Bashers list. Many go on that list, but he's the first to come off it.
Really? Mate, he's a... I keep saying this. Why can't you click on the NRL website?
Yes.
And why don't we know who has had the most ever...
I thought of you the other day because I saw a tweet. I just wasn't sure how accurate it was, where they had from 2010 onwards.
Who'd they have at the top?
I think it was it DCE?
Really?
Because I thought Cam Smith might have pulled a little bit higher, but he hadn't. Maybe, yeah. So, yeah, I did see it, and I did think of you the other day when I saw someone have an element of it.
If you could have most ever points for Dally M and then also have the average of games played, that would be fantastic.
And that shouldn't be hard to do.
No. Big show still coming up. Tom Hazelton to the Dragons, potentially. They're talking about a $1.3 million poaching bid, writes Peter Bedell from the Courier Mail. Do we like that? Do you not like it?
Well, it's interesting because I thought the asking price around Christmas was around $600,000 for Tom Hazelton, and a lot of clubs sort of balked at that, and the Sharks were never going to come up with that sort of money at $600 to keep him because of the money they've already invested in their forward pack. If it's around that $450 mark, it's probably it's a very good buy.
Yep.
For that money. He's a point of difference given his size and
he can
score a try.
Yeah.
They've got the Knights were in for him as well as a potential Leo Thompson replacement. The Dolphins were keen, so they're the 3 clubs that were in. But it looks like Tom Hazelton may end up at the Dragons.
Okay.
And still no resolution on Francis Molo. Still not a training with the Dragons. Still been given indefinite leave, but he would have played his last game for the Dragons for sure.
Okay, all right. Fatima Kadu and Peter Bedell reporting the under-20s competition is back, Michael. Do you like that?
I like it. It's going to be interesting to see exactly how it all works because, they've reported that Queensland's 4 NRL clubs will stage a mini Super League-style tournament as the Broncos, Cowboys, Dolphins and Eels prepare for their elite juniors for the proposed NYC. They're looking at reviving the under-20s youth competition in 2026. So it's going to be interesting to see how that works. Why we got rid of it, I'm not sure. Probably doesn't need to be billed as the second tier, elite second tier competition. That should always be New South Wales Cup or Queensland Cup.
Yeah.
For mine, but in terms of a third tier, I don't mind it.
Okay, breaking news. Warriors winger Dallin Watene-zelezniak will have surgery after fracturing and dislocating his left wrist early in the game against the Sharks on Friday night. So there you go, Warriors fans. That is not good. Let's go to Condell Park after this, where Jordan Mailata went to school. What, you're still here? Well, you can see more on the Joel and Fletch socials and catch us live on SEN Radio, you beautiful humans.